What's up, YouTube world? This is Steven again. It is currently 10:44 a.m. on April 11th of 2021, and I would like to welcome you all to my top 10 song review video from 201 to 250. This was probably one of the toughest lists to compile out of all 5 of these that I've done, but and there were like more than half of these were recommendations. And 2 recommendations landed in my top 3, but did one of them get the number 1 pick? We're soon going to find out. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started in my top 10 song reviews list from 201 to 250. Coming in at number 10 is Corpus Christi by Diamonds to Dust, song review number 216. I was not expecting this song to be as heavy as it was because I listened to their songs Saturate and A Letter for Someone in Need before. And I was just not expecting it to be so heavy, but their new unclean vocalist they got is just, off the charts when it comes to its unclean vocals. There were there was a lot of double bass blast beating when it came to the drums, and there was a lot of good guitar work, and it was just breakdown city. It was just awesome. It was so heavy, and it definitely deserved a spot in my top 10. Coming in at number 9 is Snowblood by ERRA, song review number 242. There were 2 hard headbanging breakdowns in this one. And the uncleans, the main reason it got my top 10 was because the uncleans sounded, a lot like the unclean vocalist from As I Lay Dying. And I'm a huge fan of As I Lay Dying, by the way. And not to mention the clean vocals were also amazing, so yeah, this was definitely deserving of a spot, especially since the unclean vocalist sounded like the unclean vocalist from As I Lay Dying. Coming at number 8 is Desolation and Dismay by Nightrage, song review number 202, and this is the first of the 4 songs on this list that I found. And the main reason this got on my list is because it sounded a lot like their song Frozen off of their album Descent into Chaos. And I even recorded a song review to Frozen, so if you want to go check that out. It's between song reviews number 1 and 50. It's one of my really, really early ones, but yeah, it sounded a lot like that. And there was also an amazing guitar solo too. It was great, and it was like a really long one too. It was like either a minute or a minute and a half long. And just great unclean vocals, and yeah, definitely deserving the number 8 spot on my top 10 list. Coming in at number 7 is Terrorist by Novelists FR, song review number 240. This song pretty much had everything that it needed that I like in a song. Amazing cleans, extremely brutal uncleans, a great solo, and what I liked about the solo, it started off slow, and then it kind of played like an April Fool's joke on me, where it started off slow, and then, just kidding, it got really, really fast after that. And, it also had a really brutal breakdown, and instrumental skips, and I love instrumental skips. So yeah, had everything, and definitely deserving of the number 7 spot on my list. Coming in at number 6 is End of an Era by If I Were You, song review number 250. My very last song review of this top 10 list from 201 to 250. Just Randy's cleans sounded like off the charts. Not to mention his cleans are always off the charts, but in like the best way imaginable. They sounded magnified in a way. We got a blah, like they always do. King of Blast. Instrumental skips and powerful drums on numerous occasions. I mentioned the drums on either 2 or 3 times in that song. Definitely good drum work, and the drummer is also Randy, who's also the clean vocalist, which I really love. Drummer and a vocalist. That's gotta be borderline impossible to do. Coming in at number 5 is This Dying Breath by Idols and Illusions, song review number 238. The cleans, speaking of Randy, by the way, the cleans remind me of a mixture of Randy Pasquarella from If I Were You and Devin Oliver from Icy Stars, and I'm a huge, huge fan of Devin Oliver's cleans as well. He gets way up there, like high pitch wise. Also, two breakdowns, one of which I did a hard headbang to. 2 blasts, and a ton of voice skips. Just a lot of what it had is a lot of stuff that I like. Coming in at number 4 is Watch the World Burn by The Healing, song review number 228, and my third of the ones that I found. And this was a new song by The Healing, their first new song since their new album Hollow Earth came out in 2018. So it's been about 3 years, maybe 2.5 years, because the album came out during like the mid to late summer. But either way, yeah, still a great song. I mean, great cleans, love the cleans. The cleans sound a little bit faint in the song, but I didn't take away from that. The cleans still sounded amazing. Great uncleans, and speaking of which, the clean vocalist and unclean vocalist are the same person, which I really like as well. And great breakdowns. This song again was Breakdown City. Loved every bit of it, and definitely deserving a spot in the top 5. Now we're going to get into my top 3 songs. 2 of these were recommendations, and one was one that I found. Will one of these recommendations end up at number 1 for the first time out of all 5 of these lists? We'll see. Coming in at number 3 is Under Your Tattoos by Annisokay, song review number 219. This was one of the recommendations. I believe it was recommended to me by the Wooski. And, I mean, the clean vocalist was what won me over in this song. I mean, the clean vocalist, he sounded a lot like Bo Bocan from Bless the Fall in their song Walk on Water, and the clean vocalist was just amazing. There was a super heavy breakdown from the unclean vocalist, and during the breakdown there was also a voice skip, and I mean just some amazing cleans though, really. But man, I love that breakdown either way. Definitely deserving a spot in the top 3. Coming in at number 2 is another recommendation, which means my number 1 spot is going to a song that I picked. So coming in at number 2 is The War That Followed Me Home by Conviction, song review number 239. I believe this was recommended to me by R3D 2020. I mean, just extremely brutal and dirty uncleans, man, in this song. This was just great. The lyrics in this song were really beautiful, though, by the way. If you look up the lyric video, you'll see what I mean. And absolutely amazing cleans. This song was just great. Brutal breakdowns, I mean, including instrumentals really kicking in during the breakdowns, which is pretty rare because they don't really kick in. It's mainly the drums during the breakdowns, but all the instrumentals kicked in during this breakdown. And I mean, just absolutely amazing, eye-popping cleans. Just a really, really good song overall. I was this close to putting it at number 1, but the number 1 spot on my list got a 7 out of 5, and this didn't. And it was also found by me, and I look at that more critically as well. But this was definitely deserving of the number 2 spot either way. So before I get to my number 1 pick, here are 5 honorable mentions in no particular order. I guess in the most recent, or in the earliest to most recent that I've done them. In Reverse by Safe Mode, song review number 201. Home by Siamese featuring Drew York, song review number 211. Silence is Also Suicide by Diamonds to Dust. Yes, Diamonds to Dust, you landed on my honorable mentions list as well. Song review number 217. Animal by Brand of Sacrifice, song review number 218. And Everything I Wanted, the Billie Eilish cover by Convictions. You too also land in my honorable mentions list, Convictions. Song review number 232. But coming in at my number 1 spot on my top 10 list from 201 to 250 is Fermented Offal Discharge by Necrophagus, song review number 233. This song had probably the most amazing guitar solo I've ever heard of. Maybe the second most. I think their song Only Ash Remains beat it by just a smidgen, but this was one of the most amazing guitar solos I've ever heard, and it was about a minute and a half long too. Brutal uncleans by, I think his name is Muhammad, either way. This band is no longer together. They disbanded somewhere in the mid to late 2000s, but I mean, I am so glad I listened to this song because one of the most amazing guitar solos I've ever heard of. Absolutely brutal and dirty uncleans. Great guitar riffs, and it got a 7 out of 5 from me. It was also super fast, and I really like super fast death metal songs. And this was definitely deserving of the number 1 spot on my top 10 list. So that is my top 10 list get all the fingers together. 10 list from 201 to 250 for song reviews. I hope you enjoyed this list. I hope some of your favorites and some of the songs that you recommended got on this list. But yeah, that's about it. I might record my video game review for Doom Eternal today because I did beat it last night. Or I might do it tomorrow. I'm not sure. But either way, I'm going to be recording it very soon. And sometime later this week, you will probably get a story time with Steven. But that is my first video and possibly my only video of the day. My top 10 song reviews list from 201 to 250. If you liked what you saw in this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and comment below. And I will see you guys next time with another video. This is Steven signing out.